Today's Sunday. YCS Pittsburgh just finished up. Made day 2, which was cool. It's my first YCS, so it feels cool, like, getting to make it that far. Pretty disappointing end to the day. 2, like, really frustrating losses at the end of the day. That both kind of felt out of my control. One of them was, like, I kind of got trolled by a judge. And the other one, opponent literally opened unbeatable. I can talk more about it later or something. But yeah, overall still like a really good experience, I think, especially for my first YCS. I'm looking forward to future ones. I can only do better. Unfortunately not getting a Tristaros tattoo though, for the 8 people on my Twitter. Yeah, I played CRYSTRON. I've posted the deck profile before and it got like a decent amount of views. Been playing CRYSTRON for System Genesis Hunters. Big fan of this deck. I think it is like top 3 decks, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on it. I think it's better than Mitsuyumi. I think that deck sucks. Which is kind of a hot take. But yeah, I've been... yeah, I'll just get right into the deck. So I played 41 cards. Total record after... I dropped at X5, I believe I was 7-5, because it was round 12. Yeah, so 1 in the main deck, 41, like I said, 1 Stars, 1 Smiger, 1 Solfefnir, and 3 Sulfador is just the best CRYSTRON name. And then 1 Inclusion. This card's broken. I wish it was at 3 still. It feels like dumb that it got limited. And then 1 Cluster. This card's really strong. I don't know. I'm a big fan of the CRYSTRON cards. I've said it a million times now at this point. If Malice never came out, I would have played CRYSTRON since whenever Suda came out. I just think these cards are really cool. And I'm a big fan of the deck as it stands right now, through like all the different iterations of K9 CRYSTRON. After that, K9 cards, 3 Jokel, 1 Lantern, 3 Noroi, 3 Izuna, 3 Lupus, 3 Case for K9, and then 3 Chaotic Elements. When I was talking with my coach leading up to this YCS, we just wanted to have the most consistent deck in the room. I think we achieved that. I feel like all the other decks, like Draco Tail has 3 trap cards that you just absolutely never want to draw. Mitsuyumi has like literally 11 bricks like that you just never want to draw. This deck feels like it has the least amount of those, and it has like the most amount of cards that, like, even if they're not great draws, they're like you can play still with most of the cards in your deck. Even cards like Lantern and Lupus, which don't play on their own most of the time, are still like insane to draw in any 2-card combo, because like Lupus you get insane value out of making a guy that keeps coming back and it can be targeted, and Lantern just like lets you extend randomly. Your opponent probably doesn't play around it because it's 1-of. And then these cards are broken. I like don't know how to describe them. It's the main reason I've stuck with CRYSTRON the whole time. The K9 cards are insane, and I think that they're really underrepresented in the meta, and they should be played in a lot of decks. Like Noroi is just like one of the most pushed cards I've ever seen. And 1 Scrap Recycler is just like bridges both the engines together. It gets K9 and CRYSTRON, and CRYSTRON like can get value out of dumping this. Like you can dump Noroi. You can also dump Spell Canceller, which was the main game plan with most of the matches. This card's just Jinzo for spell cards. Spell cards are really good. A lot of decks play spell cards. It's good that your opponent can activate them. Then for the non-engine in the deck, like the traditional non-engine, not counting Jokel or Izuna, 3 Fua, 3 Joel, 3 Ash, 3 Bell, 3 Dark Ruler. If you watch my deck profile of the VIP qualifier one, it's pretty much the same. The only change was this was droplets, and I'll talk about that in a second. I just think these are the best hand traps in the game. I think besides Dominus cards, like most people would agree. Yeah, they all just have insane value. Fua should probably be hit at some point. This card's super obnoxious. Droll hits like all the decks in the middle right now besides Draco Tail. These cards hit Draco Tail, and Ash negates Fua, which is pretty nice. And 3 Dark Ruler. The thinking with it over Droplet, which is like traditionally played in CRYSTRON since before even the K9 cards, is that this card is really nice and yummy, and we were expecting this to be like the yummy YCS. I think it turned out that other people had that thought and thought that they were going to play Draco. So this card lost value in that way, in my opinion, but I think the thinking we had behind it was correct. And just like execution. I also feel like I drew it more times going first than going second, but that could just be like only remembering the bad thing kind of thing. But yeah, that was the main deck. For the extra, 1 Elskeltus. This is the only synchro we're playing at this point. It's kind of unfortunate because CRYSTRON's traditionally a synchro deck, but the way the boards are made now, the Spell Canceller, you don't really ever need to make Dawn Dragster. So it's almost just better to have Elskeltus on the field, and you get the attack reduction and the pop 2 off the trap card. Ripper, I wish I could play 2. If I had 16 extra deck spots, I'd probably play 2. This card's insane. Just getting to negate a hand trap and search for follow-up on the same card, and then if you use both effects, you could just link it off. Very nice. Yeah. I wish I was able to make it on my opponent's turn more comfortably a lot of the time. Valon, this card's obviously really strong. This wound up being one of my least used cards, though, in my extra deck, just because of how my games turned out. Like, when I was going first a lot of the time, I feel like there were better targets I could be making off of Izuna. And when I was going first, you don't even have the board space to make this, but also your opponent is, like, scooping before you ever even have the chance to make it. Princess, this card summons Floodgates. It's been doing it for 2 formats now. I don't know why it's still around. To my opponent in round 11, who sharked me when I activated this card's effect. You're a hoe and your mom's a hoe. And to the judge who agreed with him sharking me, you're also a hoe and your mom's also a hoe. But yeah. Vimana. This card is like an additional monster negate, so in situations where your opponent has like a lot of hand traps, you can make this off of Izuna and Lupus to like negate another hand trap after you use the Ripper to negate a hand trap. There's also your out to Liger Dancer, which is cool, because like I played against a Lunalite opponent and I summoned this and he read the card and he was like, "This is the out, right?" And I handed him like the translation and he read it and he was like, "Oh, okay, it only attaches from grave? Sure, that's fine." And I just summoned Ripper on top of, or a Typhon on top of Ripper. He was like, "Oh, that's the out." River Stormer searches for the Scrap Recycler, which bridges your engines together. Durendal, I don't think I ever got to Durendal draw anyone. Just like the game states where I summoned Durendal, it wound up being better as a spell trap pop. Nova, Infinity, it's an Omni Negate, and those are typically pretty good. Zeus and Typhon, these cards are broken. I don't know, like playing K9 deck, these cards are just insane. You just get to out so many boards, more than like Draco Tail and other decks, just like summon a Typhon. Your opponent can't activate any of their cool monster effects. You go to battle, attack one of their guys, make a Zeus, can't be targeted, wipe their board, and then just play with your like all your strong engine cards. Yeah, these cards are really good. Clockwork Knight, mandatory in pretty much every line now because you're always summoning Scrap Recycler to get the Spell Canceller. Platinum Gadget, same thing. Armalier, this is like pretty much how you convert Noroi to 1-card combo with Spell Canceller. Comes up in other lines too sometimes, but it's mainly there for that. If you don't know, target a level 5 it points to, summon level 5 to the other zone it points to. You get to make Imperial Princess. And then SP. Every deck plays SP. The fusion decks play SP now. Just play SP. For the side, I guess I don't think I'd change anything in the extra deck. If I had space for Nash Knight, I would have played Nash Knight, but I don't, so it was fine. For the side, so there's some unconventional stuff. We sided 1 copy of Self-Fafnir and Foolish Burial. The thinking is that like the most important thing in this deck is to do your combo. It doesn't matter if you like set Solemn Judgment or any floodgates, because your engine floodgates your opponent, and you just want to see cards to play, because even if you don't floodgate your opponent, you have the like one of the strongest going first boards. So you just want to see ways to play. This is additional way to play. This is additional way to play. And then in addition, called by talent, you just sack your opponent when you go first. I don't really believe in playing these cards going second unless you're playing against like specifically Draco Tail and trying to call by Femina. Yeah. Those are going first cards. For going second, played the third Ghost Spell and 1 Nib. We originally had 2 Nib here, but we put in Ghost Spell because we just think it's better. The 1 Nib was really just there to like punish Yummy players who play into Charmies and stuff. 3 Meow, kind of become a format standard. They were like sold out of Meows on Friday at the YCS. Many of my friends were had to change their deck list. 3 Lightning Storm. This card's really good right now. A lot of the decks are setting like important back row cards that help them interact. So just being able to Lightning Storm back row is crazy. Also, like sometimes you catch a player who played into it and like put all their cool monsters in attack. And then last card, 3 Droplet. It's like I said earlier. We wanted to try switching these around because we expected more Yummy than other options. I didn't really play into a lot of Yummy, so I would have preferred this in my main, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, that was the deck. It's like a little hard to feel like happy about it right now because I feel like I could have definitely done better. But I still think like it is something to be kind of happy with. I want to give a shout out to Hani Jawari, for anyone who lives under a rock. He's one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh players of all time. Really, really good coach. Helped me a lot. Definitely would not have done as well as I did if I haven't been getting coaching from him. He hooked me up with the right deck, and I feel like most of my losses were my fault. So nothing to complain about there. I want to shout out to Tim for filming right now. Tim, Theo, Kyle, and Alan. Just great time staying with them for the YCS. You know, they graduated me when I made today too, and then consoled me when I got unreeled. So yeah, they're my boys. Shout out to my other boys from AU. There's like a million of them. I can't name all of them. I want to specifically shout out Josh though, for being the person who put me on to playing CRYSTRON originally. Thank you. Wish you had been able to make it. My friends from New Jersey, and all the people I know from Cryptic. There's just a million people. All the people from Gardens who I hung out with this weekend. Shout out Gus. He knows why. Yeah, I don't know. There's just so many people. Jared for sitting next to me at VIP all weekend. And I watched him get Lancia'd, and I was amazed because I didn't know people still play that card. Yeah, I don't think I'm probably missing something. It's like midnight, and I just played so much Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'm fried out of my mind. But yeah, yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll do better next time.